Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they take on the 11-year man Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense and Matthew Stafford ready to go here. Stafford still a solid quarterback in his 11th season now, but the Lions still yet to win a playoff game under his guidance. And last year's mark of 6. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark. Back to throw, Stafford. Thomas has got it, complete. Oh, he sheds himself free.
Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They try and run. On 2nd and 12, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from...
On 2nd down, Johnson.
You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now.
Capitalize here. From the gun, here's Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore.
Now it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback.
And they convert now on 3rd and goal. Now Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical?
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So now it's the Packers' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But the
yard line. Now Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams.
So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a mess you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because they often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown, Packers! Geronimo Allison with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touch. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here.
Throwing is Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And you can see it's no race for the top stunt.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game. All right? There's certain guys.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot. So what was the formula that got him down there the first time? Get back to something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm going to hit you all day.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Stafford with a give. This is Riddick. And 3rd and long. It's Stafford. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Thousand-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a
play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. And Lewis has it, the tight end. Now a first down carry by Jones. And coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Those are so tight. You just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Flushed out right. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these...
Come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like them.
We can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the team...
Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Preston Smith, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Not been there this afternoon. Stafford now to throw. The completion to Riddick. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and it's the Bears who have the lead. The Bears trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills, and they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Josh Allen with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hollywood Marquise Brown, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
First half lead, now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look. They'll run on first down. Jones. On 2nd and 9. Rodgers, eluding the pressure right. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get... The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Up time defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And shotgun now for Rodgers. Steps away to his left.
Football, so I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he feel like their quarterback's on their side?
So far, 5 sacks against it. They throw right away, and that's complete. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Again, it's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. That's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word.
Broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Able to power through. From the gun, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he will be taken down, and a big pickup there. Operating from the gun. Stafford, 9 on 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Golladay. The reception, it's 3rd and 3. Stafford looks to throw again. It's caught. Jones. 1st and 10. To the air again. Stafford. To throw again. Stafford. He finds Riddick. Complete. And it's not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Got a man. It's Amendola.
Continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys up.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Preston Smith in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big...
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. From the gun, Stafford. This will be caught in a
shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Now that turnover might just about do it. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Shreds him with a stiff arm. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. Now Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. 49-yard line. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. Dan column. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rodgers, he'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
10. Williams. This will be a... Rodgers throwing here. Flush to his right. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's going to be caught.
Big.
They'll run it with Williams. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Green Bay, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Lions, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.